Hello friend, this is Mansoor Hassan from today I'm going to give you a review about the Cisco devices configuration and Cisco devices mode. We will discuss how we can configure the devices and how we can switch from one node from another node or from other mode. Okay, I'm going to use the Cisco Packet Tracer, which is the simulator for Cisco devices and practices. In Cisco Packet Tracer, I am going to use the 1800 series router, which I will give you overview how you can configure and switching between the router modes. I also give you the review about the switches and how you can configure the switches and how you can switch between switch modes. So firstly, I'm going to review about the router modes and so if you wish to configure the router modes, you just double click and the router interface will open. Okay, there is the physical interface. You can see physical view of the device. You can see from here. Just click on the zoom in so you can see all the devices which is connected. This slot is available for external cards. If you have a external card, and you wish to expand your router capability, so you can put our new router over here. And also you have a slot 0 as well. There are built-in interfaces also available, and that particular device you can configure your interface router or device without adding external cards. You can configure your device with your fast Ethernet interface. If you really wish to configure your device, you can from console mode, so you need to connect from that particular interface with the console cable or connect to the PC. Then you will have a prompt like this. If you're consoling the router, so you will prompt like this. If you are telnetting the router, first you need to configure the interface, and then you can enable to configure your router from the remote destination. Anyways, if I wish to configure the router from console mode, so I have to configure the device with that particular interface with the console cable. Okay. After connecting at that particular prompt, it will asking me, do you wish to configure the device with the dialog mode? I said no, I wish to configure the device with the manual instance. So I just need to tap the no. Then I will add the prompt of router enable mode. That was the first. That is the mode which is by default enable on router boots up. That particular interface has no such capabilities. It is just to use it's just to use at a boot up interface. If you wants to know which commands you can use at that particular interface, so what you need to do is just to press the question mark, and we will give you all those commands which you can use over here and that particular mode. Another mode where we can do the troubleshooting. At that particular interface, router enable mode, you can't do the troubleshooting. All you can just connect to the device or disconnect to the device. If you wish to troubleshoot or diagnose the problems of your device, you can reach to the privilege mode. That can be reached by enable command. After enable command, that hash signs and that hash mark shows that you are on privilege mode. At that particular mode, you can run many commands, many troubleshooting commands. You can debug the router, you can debug the configuration as well. Okay, but you can't configure. You can debug your device over here, but you can't configure your device at that particular interface or that particular mode. If you really wish to configure your device, so what you need to do is you need to jump from privilege mode to global configuration mode. Global configuration mode enable you to configure the device, configure the interfaces, connected interfaces, external interfaces, and routing protocols. Global configuration mode enable you lots of things. If I wish to switch from privilege mode to global configuration mode, so what I need to do is I need to switch from config command, and then I have to type config.terminal. If I wish to know after configure which command I can give, so I need to ask the router by questioning mark. After hitting the question mark, router will tell me all those commands which I can run on that particular interface. So I can type config terminal, and that enable me to configure my device. After that, I can configure my device from different aspects. If I wish to configure my device with an interface fast Ethernet 0, so what I need to do is I need to go to the device interface, and then I can configure the device. If I wish to configure the device interfaces, so what I need to type interface and hit tab. If I doesn't make any syntax error, so command will be completed after hitting tab. Also, afterwards I can, if I wish to know which interface I can which interfaces I can configure, so I just need to type question mark, and I will have all those commands which I can give after the interface command. If I wish to know which interfaces I connected and so I just go to over here, and I can see those interfaces which is connected to my device. So I'm going to configure the fast Ethernet interface, 0/0 as shown on the physical component area. If I hit the enter, it will through me to the interface mode. That IF interface shows that you are in the interface mode. If I wish to configure that IP at that particular interface on fast Ethernet 0/0, what I need to do, I just need to type IP space ADD and hit tab. After that, I need to ask the router which I have to do, what I have to do. So what I need to do, I will hit the question mark. It will give me two options. It's telling me you can configure IP statically, and you can configure the IP DHCP with the DHCP. That means if my interface set up for the DHCP, it will ask for the DHCP server to assign the IP configuration. But at that stage, I wish to configure the IP statically. So what I need to do is I'm going to assign the IP 1.1.1 manually. Then afterwards, I have to ask the router what I need to do. A router says you need to configure the subnet mask, which is 255.0.0.0, and then I have to hit enter. After hitting enter, it will accept the command and says your IP is configured. So if I really wish to know the basic configuration of my router, so what I have to switch, I have to go back from global configuration mode to the privilege mode. At that particular prompt, I have to type the show running that dash config. That shows me all my RAM configuration. Here you can see the configuration which I have done just before on that route device. So in this nugget, we have learned how the modes of the router and how we can configure the IP. Another thing which I need to tell you is how we can write the commands to the device. Sorry, it's my typo mistake. If I wish to write the command, currently these configuration on the RAM mode. If I boots up the reload the router, the configuration will be lost, and I have to do it all these configuration again. If I wish my router goes reload, and I don't need to configure these devices again. So what I need to do, I need to type WR. Do WR actually, and at that particular mode you can't write WR. That shows that you need to write the configuration from RAM to ROM. If I wish to run that command on that interface, what I need to do is do WR. It says building configuration is done. Okay, in this nugget we have learned lots of things, or in next nugget we will learn how we can enable the communication between two devices, two routers, two different routers. Till then, take your very good care. Bye bye.